liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
But here comes Mark Antony.
Almighty Caesar, thus the lies were known, and on the conquest, glories, triumphs, spoils, shown to this little measure, fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend, as Caesar's death hath known no instrument, half the words that your swords may drench. No place will please me, so no mean of death, as here by Caesar's and by you cut off.
O Antony, but not the death of us. So now we must appear bloody and cruel, and this the bleeding business they have done. Yet to see our hands, our heart, they are pitiful. And pity to the general wrong of Rome, as fire drives out fire, pity, pity. Had done this deed on Caesar, for your marks, our swords, and bleeding points, Mark Antony. Our hearts of brothers temper in. Do you receive you? With all kinds of love, good thought.
Your word shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hands. Two must ways that you must do to conceit me, either a coward or a fracture. To see thy Antony making his peace.
Mark Antony,
O pardon me, Caius Cassius. Enemies of Caesar shall say this.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what companion you to have with us? Will we take in the number of friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore took your hands, but was indeed straight down looking over to the Caesar's body. Friends, am I with you all, and I love you all.
O Antony, our reasons are so full of good regard that you, the son of Caesar, should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. Take his body to the marketplace and pulpit as becomes a friend.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know, not what you do not consent. That Antony will speak in his neutral. By the words he will say, we don't know how much people are going to be moved.
By your pardon, I will speak first in the pulpit. I will protest whatever Antony will speak.
I know what may fall and what may not. I like it.
Be it so, I do desire no more.
Prepare the body.
With these butchers, which like dumb mouths drove their ruby lips to beg the utterance and voice of my tongue. A light shall strike upon the limbs of the man, all pity choked, and Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge. Achaean man groaning for the burial.
And now at the forum, where people are gathered restless because the word has spread that Caesar is dead.
Romans, countrymen, and neighbors, hear me for my cause, and be silent so that you may listen. Believe me in mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, so that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, awaken your senses, so that you may be the better judge. If there would be any dear friend of Caesar in this assembly, I would say him that Brutus' love was no less than his. But if that still demands that why Brutus rose against Caesar, then this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but I loved Rome more. Had there been Caesar living and die on slaves, or rather Caesar were dead and live on freemen. As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As you are fortunate, I rejoice it. As you are valiant, I honor him. But as you are ambitious, I slew him. There are tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base? That would be a bondman. If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so rude? That would not be a Roman. If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so vile? That would not love his country. If any, speak. For him have I offended. I pause for a reply. None that I have offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The portion of his death is enrolled in capital. His glory not extenuated, nor his offenses imposed, for which is a contest. Here is the body, mourned by Mark Antony. So he had no hand. So he had no hand in his death, but he should be benefit of his joy. A place in commonwealth of you shall not. As I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when my country needs my death.
We'll bring him come home into his house.
Give him the statue with his sister.
Let him be Caesar.
Caesar's better part shall be not in Brutus.
Let me depart alone, and for my sake, grace to Caesar's cause and his speech. Tending to Caesar's glory by Mark Antony, it is allowed to make by my permission. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save us alone till Antony have.
Be so. Let us hear Mark Antony. For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
Now enters Mark Antony. Now enters Mark Antony to address the Caesar's death.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says, for Brutus' sake, he finds himself beholding to us all.
Well, best he speak no harms of Brutus here.
You gentle Romans,
Be so, let us hear it.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus had told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously Caesar had answered him. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are the all honorable man. Come, I will speak in Caesar's favor. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He had brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general's coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him the kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? But Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, Brutus is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, without any cause. So what cause withholds you then to mourn for him now? O judgment, thou art fled to Brutish beast, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is there in the coffin with Caesar, and I must post till it come back to you.
methinks this reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has right.
Happy, master. I fear they will reverse come this way.
Mark his words. He will not take the crown. Therefore, it's certain he was not ambitious.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the hope. But now lies he there, and none so poor to give him any reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to stray your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, whom you all know are honorable men. I'll not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I'll wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment. With the seal of Caesar, I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which pardon me, I will not need to read. And they go kiss that Caesar's wound and dip their napkin in sacred blood and gave back a hair of him for his memory and dying mention it within their wills.
Read the
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet, you know, how Caesar loved you. You not stone, you not wood, but man. And being man, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. This good you know not, that you as hairs, if you should, oh what would come of it.
Read the will.
Shall read the will. Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have assured myself to tell you of it, that I fear I wrong the honorable man, whose dagger has stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, your honorable man.
You compel me then to read the will. Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar. And I'll show you him that made the will. Shall I descend? Will you give me leave? Descend.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all know this man. I remember the first time I was seeing Caesar. It was on a summer's evening. It is said that day he overcame the night. Look, in this place when Cassius staggered, see what a Corinthian is. So this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved with Brutus, so unkindly knocked or not for Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's injury. Judge you God how dearly Caesar. This was the most and kindest cut of all, for when the noble Caesar saw him stabbed, in gratitude, more strong than trade, his arm quite vanquished him, and burst his mighty heart. And in his mantle muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my country! Then I, and you, and all of us fell down with bloody treasure flourished over us. And souls, what weep you when you but behold of Caesar's vesture wounded? Look at him! He is himself marred as you see with traitors. Oh, quickly, spectacle. Oh, noble Caesar.
Oh, woeful day.
Oh, most bloody sigh.
Revenge, about, siege, burn, fire, kill, slay. Let not a traitor live.
Stay, countrymen. Good friends, sweet friends, let me not show you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. Last I know not what private griefs they had. I come not friends to steal away your hearts. I'm no writer as Brutus is. And as you know me all, the plain blood men who loved my friend, and that they know full well, who gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor word, nor action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I can tell you which yourself, show you sweet Caesar's rooms. Poor dumb mouths, and let them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits, and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny!
We'll burn the house of Brutus.
Away then! Come, speak the conspirators.
Let hear me, countrymen! Let hear me speak!
Peace, oh, dear Antony, most noble Antony.
Why, friends, you got to do you know not what, wherein at Caesar that deserved your loves. Alas, you know not, I must tell you then, you forgot the will I told you of.
Will.
Here's the will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen, he gives to every several man 75 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar.
Hear me with patience.
Peace, oh.
Moreover, he had left you all his walks, his private arbors, his plant and orchards. On this side Tiber, he had left them you common pleasures to recreate yourself. Here was a Caesar, when comes such another.
Never. We'll burn his body in the holy place and at the grandfather traitor house. Take up the body.
Plug down benches, plug down forms, windows, anything.